in just a couple minutes talking about what I think are some of our highlights from this past year. And then this being our 25th anniversary, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about that. It is, quite an accomplishment, I think, for our organization, starting from nothing to have survived 25 years and to be flourishing, I think is evidenced by your turnout here today. So first of all, thank you all, every one of you, for your attendance today and your participation. This is really humbling to see such a crowd. I know you're not here to hear me, but I'm still honored that you took the time to celebrate our anniversary today. As the governor said, it's been some, we've gone through some tough years recently. Certainly I'm feeling and I'm hearing from you all that things are certainly going better. And this past year, I think we definitely have lots of evidence in Door County that things are doing better. You do have an annual report at your place setting. We encourage you to take that home, read it. Call us if you have suggestions, comments, critiques. We want to know what you think. But if we're going to talk about some good things happening in Door County, I think I want to start with our industrial park right here in Sturgeon Bay. For those of you who don't get back there on a regular basis, I strongly encourage you to take a drive through our industrial park. It's seen more phenomenal growth over the last couple of years than I can recall over the last 25 years. Things are certainly looking strong, and there's really, in my mind, I don't see much sign of a recession left in our industrial park. You see companies like Hatco Corporation, the governor mentioned, with a 65,000 square foot expansion that they just are completing now, adding jobs, making a huge investment in our community. Across the street, Thermotronics did a 10,000 square foot expansion last year, is finishing up a 30,000 square foot addition this year, and also adding jobs. The city of Sturgeon Bay stepped up big time with this demand for more property by businesses. We were running out of land for our businesses to expand to. So the city stepped up with the cooperation of neighboring property owners. Thank you, Roger Anderson. We purchased 25 acres this past year to allow for some expansion of our businesses and to accommodate new businesses in the future. Wisconsin Public Service Corporation stepped up, and to accommodate this additional land, that land that we acquired, that 25 acres, really was worthless because there was a huge high-pressure gas main underneath it, feeding the entire Door County community. It traversed underneath this property we acquired. So they stepped up, put a new gate station in downriver from our current plant, and allowed us to eliminate that transmission line that was curtailing our growth. So kudos to the city and WPS for helping us grow our park. And that's just the beginning. We've worked with over 130 new entrepreneurs that are looking to get started, and many have started in Door County over the last year. You see some logos and names of some of those businesses that we worked with. We don't do this work alone by any stretch of the imagination. There are many public and private organizations that we work with every day to allow us to help grow the economy here. And I'll start with the city of Sturgeon Bay. We're very excited with the progress we're making with the West Side Waterfront Redevelopment Project. This is the former Door County Co-op site on the west side. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with it. We've been working on plans, and right now we're in the discussion phase with developers who want to do a brew pub and workforce housing and a market and other very exciting things. And we're very hopeful that these things will come to pass in the next few months. We'll be able to make some announcements on those. But things are looking good. The city's also cleared the site of the derelict buildings that were on the site, and we're very excited to see a groundbreaking soon of the Coast Guard. Will be building a building on their site next to the Mobile Bay to support and assist in the Coast Guard and its ventures. So a lot of good things happening on our waterfront. Next up, Sister Bay, not to be outdone. Northern Door is paying attention to what's going on, and they also undertook a waterfront redevelopment planning process this past year. They've got a beautiful plan. I think it's a realistic plan, and they're going to be in the developer recruitment phase very shortly. So look for opportunities to grow businesses in the beautiful downtown Sister Bay. Door County was designated a coastal byway a couple of years ago, and Door County has certainly taken advantage of that designation. They qualified us for some special federal DOT funding, and we've taken good advantage of it. What you're seeing here are pictures of just one example of a most recent project where informational kiosks were designed and built in each of the villages in Northern Door to commemorate what's unique about that community. Again, thanks to our Coastal Byway Initiative. One of the top priorities for DCEDC over the years has been, and we're listening to you, broadband deficiencies. Being on that peninsula, end of the line, we were the last to be served by a lot of services, broadband being one of them. So we worked really closely over the last few years with our incumbent providers, companies like Charter and Cellcom and Frontier, to enhance their services in the county. And we made tremendous progress over the last couple of years, and we thank them for what they've done to help us. Another exciting thing is there's a website there. That's basically a page on the Door County website where you can actually go, no matter where you live in the county, you can go on that map, put in your address, and find out what broadband services are available to you any place in Door County. So that's a great service and something we worked on this past year. Many of you joined us in Madison. We're not an island here in Door County. I guess we are an island, but we're in the state of Wisconsin, and the state can do a lot of things to help us and also to hurt us. And fortunately, over the last dozen years, we've been going to Madison, and many of you have been coming with us. We're averaging about 100 people going to Madison every other year to talk to our legislators and our state agencies about what they can do to help us, what some of our issues and problems are, and how they can help us. And that's been very effective. Again, we had a good, successful year this year when we went down last May. Our top issue this last year was the impact of the low water levels that we experienced here in Door County over the last couple of years. And we're going to take credit for the 12-inch rise that you've seen over the last few months. So you're welcome. So another partnership that we've experienced is with the City of Sturgeon Bay on securing a Coast Guard City designation from the U.S. Coast Guard. This is a huge thing. We have 3 detachments of the U.S. Coast Guard here. That's very rare in the state of Wisconsin, in the country actually, and they are a great employer. They bring a lot of new vitality and young people to our community. Many of them marry locals, and they end up retiring here, and we try to recruit them back here, whether they're married or not, back here to join our workforce. Many of them are retiring with many years of work in them yet, and they make excellent workers, and we'd like to help our local business community by attracting some of these skilled workers after they retire. So this is a great designation to honor this close relationship the city has developed with the Coast Guard over the last couple of years, and there's going to be a great celebration of that here in early May. Hope you can join us. So just looking forward just a bit, a couple things that we're working on for this year that I think are pretty exciting. First is look for us to talk about a new microloan fund that we're talking about and hoping to announce shortly. Wellness Works Awards. We award an Entrepreneur of the Year and an Industry of the Year each year at this event. Well, next year we're also going to recognize businesses that are doing good things to help the health of their workforce. They're called the Wellness Works Award. We're doing this in cooperation with the YMCA here in Door County and Ministry Healthcare. We're very excited about that. And talk to any of us. The 3 organizations are partnering on this. Talk to us about how your company can be recognized as doing a good job of helping wellness of their employees. And then lastly, as far as this year, one of the top initiatives that we're really excited about is a talent attraction piece. You heard everybody talking about the worker shortage that we're all dealing with. But one of the things we have here is an unbelievable quality of life, right? And that's why probably most of us live here. We can live so many other places, probably all make more money than we're making here, but it's the quality of life that we love and keeps us here. So we want to tout that in some, whether it's going to be in a video or a print piece, but we want to help our businesses leverage this wonderful workforce, quality workplace that we have in helping them attract workers in the future. So that's this past year. I'm going to go real quickly on a few highlights for the last 25 years. These are my opinion on what some of our significant accomplishments. Again, none of this was done alone. It was done in cooperation with our business and our communities. And it certainly has been, in my case, an honor to have helped start the organization and be with it 25 years later. It is a fun job. I get to work with all these great people that make my job easy and very enjoyable. So Let's start out with transportation. You met Mike Gilson as our first board chair. His very prominent directive to me when I started this job was get that darn highway improved to Green Bay. Everybody knew how important that highway was to the success and future of our economy. And doggone it, we put a high priority on it, we got it done. We got a lot of businesses and communities that go down to Madison and testify to how important and how we were struggling without that. So I think that's one of our major accomplishments. And then of course all the bridges in Sturgeon Bay. Business incentive programs. In this business, businesses want to know they're appreciated, and one way we can do that is to recognize them with some, whether it's low interest loans or tax credits, and I'm proud of some of the programs we've developed to accomplish that. I've already mentioned the industrial park. Here's a picture of before and after. See what it looked like. The green is the improved part of the park in '91, and you see it in 2013. That's 85 acres larger. That's triple in value what it was when we started in '91. So we made great progress there. Sturgeon Bay Waterfront redevelopment. This is what we're talking about now is the third phase of redevelopment in Sturgeon Bay, and it's also yielded tremendous results. You're seeing a quadrupling in value of tax value in the waterfront area of the Sturgeon Bay. And it's produced gems like this, Stone Harbor Resort, that just imagine, just 10 years ago, this didn't exist. And how we all have come to depend on this jewel of a resource to showcase our community and to host events for you and your family and your business. So we're so fortunate to have that. And speaking of Stone Harbor, I don't know if Nancy's here, but let's give Nancy a round of applause for a phenomenal lunch. And our hardworking crew. I never saw so much food delivered in such a short period of time. Thank you guys. Great job. Okay, many of you know we have a business incubator in our industrial park, and this was funded mostly with federal funds back in 1997. We currently have 16 tenants that are young businesses looking to grow and graduate out of that facility, and we have 18 graduates to our credit. Workforce development, as you've heard earlier, it's a major need out there, and we have initiatives that are dealing with that. And I'm most proud of our Door Kewaunee Business Education Partnership program that has been formed in cooperation with our businesses and communities in Kewaunee County to deal with our youth, the loss of our youth in our community. We have a lot of great jobs here. We just need to get the word out to our youth that these jobs are here, so when they have to, after school, they can come back and claim those jobs for their own and live in their hometows and enjoy this wonderful quality of life that we do here. Workforce housing. Our growing workforce needs a place to live, an affordable place to live, and that's been the objective of a committee that's been working and meeting every month for years. I've already talked about broadband access. We've made great progress, as I mentioned earlier, in that. A few years ago, we received a federal grant to help us develop to help some of our businesses export their products. When we lost some shipyard workers a number of years ago, we qualified for some federal funds, and one of those ways we used those funds was to help businesses grow or start an export program, and that yielded great results. For example, we did the first website for Marine Travel Lift. Now 30% of their products are exported on an average basis. We help people learn how to do email back in the 90s when this is all new technology. So and we help people find dealers around the globe to help them with their export products. So these are some phenomenal things that we forget about that we had a part in. I'm also proud of our partnership with UWGB Small Business Development Center. This is a mostly SBA funded organization that has been a tremendous asset for us and our businesses in Door County. Every month we have a business counselor that comes up and spends a day with our businesses, and where we set up appointments and they provide the professional guidance to help some of our entrepreneurs grow their business. We've also now celebrated 12 years of sponsoring an annual business plan writing class, again in cooperation with the SBDC. We have, today we have over 150 graduates at that business planning class. I mentioned the legislative days earlier that we did that last year. Well, we've been doing it since 2003, and we've had some great successes over the years. Our Sturgeon Bay is renowned for its shipbuilding industry, very unique in the state and in the country. We have two great shipbuilders here in Palmer Johnson's and Bay Ship, And they worked together on a plan a few years ago. It's how they can work together to grow their industry in our community. Some great things came out of it, still coming out of it. We've seen tremendous investment, both public funds and private funds, to grow this sector. Speaking of Dave Ward, a few years ago, he helped us with the Door County Economic Development Plan. How do we do a better job of providing economic development services in Door County? And where are the needs and how can we meet those needs? And he provided a plan to us that we're still using today, providing a blueprint and including identifying 6 high-growth business sectors that are worthy of extra effort. The tourism zone is very unique also. Again, we had a small part in that, and again, it's been phenomenally successful in growing the marketing budget for tourism in Door County and making us a huge player in the Midwest in the tourism industry. Most recently, the wine trail got organized. Currently, 8 wineries are members, including the latest edition, Door 44. And lastly, for a highlight for the last 25 years, we're very proud to have started Door County Buy Local a few years ago to remind everybody about the importance of spending local monies whenever possible. Well, that 4-lane highway is nice. We made it easier to get to Green Bay. For shopping purposes, it's not needed. All your products and services are right here in Door County. You don't have to drive an hour to get that. And it's been well received. We have over 500 members that are participating in Buy Local today. So those are a few comments, thoughts about 25 years of doing this work. I'm proud of that, and I hope you are too. So just wanted to recognize, I mentioned we don't do this alone. Shown on the slide now are some of the businesses, some of the organizations we work with in Northeast Wisconsin to help us do this kind of work. They're great partners, and we're so proud to be able to work with them. I mentioned our board of directors, our staff. We have a phenomenal staff. I want to introduce our staff members. Sam Perlman is back at the room there in charge of the technology here today. Thank you, Sam. He's been with us almost 10 years, doing a phenomenal job, and thanks, Sam, so much for making this go smoothly technology-wise today. Thank you. Paula Sullivan is our operations manager. Wait, Paula, there you are. Cindy Wick is our administrative assistant. Tara LeClaire is the manager of the Door Kiwanee Business Education Partnership, and Carrie Starr is the career coordinator for DKBP. Thank them all and recognize their contributions. My beautiful wife is right here, and she lets me do this kind of stuff, so thank you, Cheryl. And again, thank you. We would not be here. This organization exists because of our public and private sector supporters. And thank you all very much for all that you do to make Door County economic development happen. Thank you. And lastly, it's my pleasure to introduce Leslie Gass. She's our DCEDC treasurer, and she's going to introduce our Door County Entrepreneur of the Year.
Good afternoon. In 2004, Door County Economic Development began a new tradition with our first ever Entrepreneur of the Year Award. The award celebrates those individuals who've taken the initiative to start and grow a successful small business in Door County. Last year's winner was the Winkie family, owners of Winkie's Market. Eligible business owners include those with fewer than 50 full-time employees whose company exhibits exciting growth potential and those that have at least 3 years of successful business experience. This year's award winner started his company in 2000 to provide transportation around the peninsula for tourists and visitors alike who had in large part come to the area by private automobile. Today, that company is providing a broad array of interesting, entertaining, fun, diversified recreational and educational tours for visitors to the Door County Peninsula. On any given day in the season, up to 750 Door County visitors experience a ride in one of this company's vehicles, and they find a new and wonderful way to see the spectacular treasures of this area. Company direct payroll is currently 13 and is expected to grow to 15 by the start of the summer season. There are the jobs created also by business partners, as well as the jobs created in the other businesses, which benefit directly from increased